Steph Curry is the greatest shooter God has ever created.
The great thing about LeBron, he brings it every single night for 20 years.
Right.
I would say the hardest player in the NBA to guard is probably Shai.
He's just always been super smart, super cerebral.
He's just always aggressive. He's always a threat out there every time you guard him.
He's fine-tuning his game in many different ways.
The 2025-26 NBA season is here, and it feels different. The storylines are deeper, the stakes are higher, and the balance of power has never been more fragile. This year isn't just about championships. It's about legacies, redemption, and the rise of the next era. 10 players stand at the center of it all, each capable of changing everything we think we know about basketball. From Luka Dončić's relentless quest for his first ring to LeBron James possibly entering his final campaign, and Victor Wembanyama's rise as the new face of the league, this season has no shortage of drama. So today, let's break down the 10 players who can define the 2025-26 season. We'll uncover what makes each of them critical, their key storylines, the stats to watch, and what's truly at stake for their careers and franchises. 1. Luka Dončić. Luka Dončić starts this season with more pressure than ever before. After leading Dallas deep into the playoffs last year and nearly reaching the finals, the Mavericks retooled around him with a stronger supporting cast. Luka is no longer the young phenom. He's the cornerstone expected to deliver. His dominance isn't in question. Last season, he averaged close to 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists, making him one of the most statistically complete players in history. But now the question is simple. Can he turn those numbers into a championship? If Luka leads Dallas to 55+ wins or another deep playoff run, he doesn't just define this season, he defines the MVP race. The 2025-26 season might be the one that cements Luka Dončić not just as a superstar, but as the next global face of the NBA. 2. LeBron James. LeBron James enters his 22nd NBA season and what might be his last.
I've appreciated LeBron from day one. And I think what first hit me was how he was able to limit the noise that he allowed into his head when many in your profession would criticize him every single night.
The whispers of a second decision are everywhere. Will he finally retire? Will he join his son Bronny if he makes the Lakers roster full-time? Or will he shock everyone by continuing even longer? At 40 years old, LeBron remains the ultimate outlier, still averaging 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, leading a Lakers team that continues to live and die by his presence.
LeBron James with some last-second advice for Bronny James making his NBA debut. Out of the timeout. Oh, LeBron James! Major flush!
This season, it's not just about stats. It's about the moment. Every game could feel like history in motion. The stat to track, minutes per game, and availability. If LeBron can stay healthy while leading the Lakers into playoff contention, it could be one of the greatest age 40 seasons ever. But if injuries or fatigue catch up, fans may be watching the sunset of the greatest career ever. Whatever happens, LeBron's every decision, whether to retire, keep playing, or move teams, will dominate headlines. The entire NBA world is watching how this story ends. 3. Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic continues to redefine what it means to be a modern big man. After securing his 3rd MVP and leading Denver to another deep playoff run, he's now seen as the standard for excellence, the player everyone else measures themselves against. This season, the narrative around Jokic isn't about surprise or breakout, it's about sustained dominance. He's the anchor of a Denver team that runs like clockwork when he's on the court.
Westbrook finds Jokic cutting to the basket, lost it momentarily, gets it back behind the back to Gordon, who puts it in. Nikola Jokic with a spectacular assist, and Gordon has 31.
His combination of scoring, rebounding, and playmaking makes him nearly unstoppable. But the challenge is depth. The Nuggets supporting cast is thinner after offseason changes. If Jokic can carry them through that, maintaining elite performance despite roster turnover, he may not only repeat as MVP, but redefine the center position for good. In short, Jokic doesn't just dominate, he stabilizes the entire league's balance. 4. Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama has the world watching him. Standing 7'4" with guard skills, his rookie year was electric, averaging nearly 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. But this season, the spotlight burns even brighter. The biggest question, can Wemby stay healthy? San Antonio has built the team around him, and his physical development will determine how far they go. His defensive presence alone changes the geometry of the game. Last season, opponents shot 12% worse at the rim when guarded by him. Every time Wemby takes the floor, he represents the NBA's future, a blend of size, skill, and versatility we've never seen before. 5. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis enters 2025-26 hungrier than ever. After a disappointing playoff exit and questions about his team's chemistry, he's determined to prove Milwaukee still belongs at the top of the East. Giannis's drive has always been his greatest weapon.
Gordon and Brook Lopez in the 17th. Guys who just still love to play. Counted on a foul. Antetokounmpo.
Last season, he averaged 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists, continuing to dominate both ends. Now, with a deeper supporting cast and better spacing, expect the bounce-back campaign. If Giannis returns to MVP form and Milwaukee wins 60 games, he'll reestablish himself as the league's most unstoppable physical presence. His energy defines not only the Bucks, but the identity of the Eastern Conference itself. 6. Morant. Few players have more to prove than Morant. After missing large stretches due to suspension and injuries, this season marks his comeback moment, both on the court and in reputation. Jaw's speed, explosiveness, and creativity make him one of the most thrilling players in the league. But for Memphis, the biggest question isn't his talent, it's availability. The team's entire offensive identity collapses when he's absent. If Morant can stay disciplined, healthy, and locked in, he could easily return to all-NBA form. And for the Grizzlies, that might mean another top 4 seed in the West. His redemption arc could be one of the league's most powerful stories this season. 7. Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry might be 37, but his impact remains timeless. The Warriors' dynasty has aged, but as long as Curry is healthy, they remain dangerous. Last season, he averaged 26 points per game while still shooting over 40% from 3, proving that his shooting gravity remains unmatched. However, the real story now is about legacy and transition. Will Golden State double down on one last title run, or begin the process of moving into a new era? If Curry lets one more playoff surge, it could be the ultimate veteran comeback story.
One of my biggest regrets, and Steph, I'm sure you would have been the light-skinned man either way. You was gonna be the light-skinned man, you know what I'm saying? That was destined for you. But I feel like when you came to the Garden.
If not, this might quietly mark the closing chapter of an era that defined modern basketball. 8. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is quietly becoming one of the league's most complete players. Last season, he finished top 3 in MVP voting while leading Oklahoma City to one of the best records in the West. This year, the Thunder's rise continues. With a young, talented core around him, Shai's leadership and poise make him the engine behind the NBA's most exciting rebuild. If Oklahoma City pushes into the top 3 again, it'll be because Shai continues to evolve into a calm, calculated assassin, proving that leadership doesn't always have to be loud. 9. Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is no longer the league's best-kept secret. He's become a superstar in real time, and this season could make him one of the faces of the NBA. At just 24, Edwards has already shown flashes of dominance, averaging 27 points per game while guarding the opponent's best players. His confidence, charisma, and work ethic make him Minnesota's emotional leader. The stat to watch: defensive win shares and field goal efficiency. When Ant is locked in on both ends, the Timberwolves look unstoppable. He's already drawn comparisons to Dwyane Wade and Michael Jordan for his blend of athleticism and killer instinct. If Edwards takes another leap and leads Minnesota to a top 3 finish in the West, he'll officially arrive as a true MVP contender.
Here's Murray, checking Edwards. Oh, Edwards, he had ill intentions on that drive.
The symbol of the NBA's next generation. 10. Anthony Davis. For Anthony Davis, every season begins with the same question: can he stay healthy? Because when he is, there's almost no one like him. Davis remains one of the most impactful two-way players in the league. Last year, he ranked top 5 in blocks per game and top 10 in field goal percentage. His ability to protect the rim and stretch the floor makes him the Lakers' most valuable piece. With LeBron nearing the end, Davis must embrace the leadership mantle.
All eyes are on Anthony Davis right now. Listen, again, nobody's questioning that he's injured. We wouldn't do that to that brother. You know, he's not that kind of man. If he can play, you know, he wants to be out there. He wants to play. But I'm just telling you, people are looking at him like, okay, what do you do to take care of yourself during the season? Do you stretch enough? What are you doing to take care of yourself during the offseason? Remember, he came on first take.
This could be the season that defines his legacy, not just as LeBron's teammate, but as the face of the Lakers moving forward. Beyond the headlines, a few under-the-radar names could steal the spotlight. Tyrese Halliburton continues to rise as one of the best passers in the league, leading Indiana's offense with surgical precision.
Better job of getting open. Misses. Halliburton the rebound. 9 seconds. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits.
Jalen Brunson is New York's hero, capable of turning the Knicks into a real threat in the East.
For the lead.
Oh, yeah! Jalen Brunson from downtown.
Chet Holmgren could challenge Wemby as the next great big man. Jason Tatum seeks his first MVP, and Donovan Mitchell enters a contract year that could reshape his career. These players might not define the season individually, but their breakout moments could rewrite playoff storylines before our eyes. So the question is simple: who will define this season? Will it be the veteran rewriting history, the young phenom rising to power, or the underdog breaking through? Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain: this season will be remembered as the moment when the NBA's past, present, and future finally collided. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tell us, which of these 10 players do you think will define the 2025-26 season?